Hello, moderators. Jeffrey Bailey, how you doing? Shauna, I haven't done a call out in a long time. Fearless Vic, Nelson Perez, always nice. Jamie Robbins, sorry about the suspenders. I meant overalls. Let's see. Who else we got up in here? Oh, there's Dawn Hart. I still can't pronounce Didgeridoo. Didgeridoo. Man, pick a normal name, man. Crying out loud. Mr. C, Otto Chenault, my neighbor, right here in the Houston area. Fearless Vic. The ubiquitous Pamela Swan. I haven't done a call out in forever. Squirrel Sniper, how you doing? Matt Kubis, you've been hanging around lately. Getting lonely on that mountain? I've been to Matt Kubis's place. One Tux, always there in the South Pacific, holding down New Zealand. Yeah, man. How you doing, Cug? See you on Twitter all the time. Yeah, guys, you don't need the law of attraction. You can take the law of attraction, get it all in one little tight little wad, just shove it somewhere because it ain't shit. You don't need the law of attraction. You don't even need affirmations. You don't need those repetitive affirmations and audio deals and go to sleep listening to say you don't need it. You don't need some YouTuber giving you a formula trying to tell you how to manifest things in your life. You don't need it. You don't need any of that. We have two great bodies of souls within the construct. They have compartmentalized themselves between the magical and the scientific. Both accuse the other of being absolutely untrue. Both use their own parlance, their own language, their own formulas, having very little clue that there's no difference. I'm going to show it to you in this video. I'm going to reveal to you in this video why all these occult systems, none of this matters. I'm going to show you also why the soul's awakening can take pre-existing systems like tarot, astrology, different models of astrology, can take different systems of occult analysis as given to us in like the writings of Sir Henry Cornelius, and can do new things with them in the construct, can build new worlds for themselves and others using systems that are already in place. But the awakened soul can take pre-existing systems and do new things with them. And this is what the construct thrives on. But there's a clue, because the soul's awakening doesn't have anything to do with learning magic. Doesn't have anything to do with the acquisition of book knowledge. The soul's awakening doesn't have anything to do with anything in the materium. It's about personal identity and what personal identity does for you in the programming of the construct. That's where we're going today. This is going to be a powerful presentation. It's going to put a lot of things into perspective for you. It's going to simplify what you thought was a rather complex system or a complex formula. If you find yourself in a rut in life, if you find yourself unable to move forward, then this is the video for you. It's going to change your paradigm. Pay attention. There is no difference between magic and science. Let me turn these notifications off. How rude. How rude. Who is this? Oh, that would be one of my own moderators, Jonathan Harrison. Turn this off. For this thing bugs me to death today. All right. I'm going to need this to see what you guys are seeing when I share the screen. All right. Sorry, guys. I should have had this phone already turned off. I normally keep do not disturb on, which pisses off everybody that knows me. Do not disturb. There we go. Perfect. I normally have all this already done. Uh-oh, Martin Leakey, the biggest dig in history. I'm going to have to go listen to what he's doing. All right, I'm in. I'm so excited. It's the soul's awakening. Man, now you get that. All right, there we go. So, wait for a few more people to stack up in here. I did a very lengthy thread on Twitter. If you're not on the official Archaix Twitter page, you're missing out. I publish research comments, rants. I did a rant this morning on barf parrots and Dunning-Kruger's, name some of them. So, yeah, if you're not on Twitter, you're missing out, guys, because that's where I hang out. I don't hang out on YouTube. YouTube's where I just do live videos and sometimes uploads. Man, I hang out on Twitter. I'm stalking the comment sections on Twitter. I'm all over Twitter. I do just as much blocking as I get blocked on Twitter. I'll get on somebody's thread and say, hey, man, come on, man. You know, this book, and this book right here, they all show exactly the opposite of what you're promoting to be true right here. Boop, block. You'll block me real quick. It's all right. No big deal. Yeah, Jahara. I said barf parrots and Dunning-Krugers. Dunning-Krugers are just like Freddy Kruegers. You know, Freddy Krueger appeared. Freddy Krueger didn't want you to wake up. Freddy Krueger wanted you to stay asleep, and basically lead to your death, man. You would die dumb. That's Freddy Krueger. Dunning-Krugers are no different. If you look up Dunning-Kruger, you'll find out it's a psychological phenomenon where somebody holds themselves up to be an expert on matters for which they know nothing about. That's Dunning-Kruger effect. That's why I call them Dunning-Krugers. They're just like Freddy Kruegers. You're all listening to them just going to keep you asleep. So barf parrots, parrots barfing is a very real thing. It's a problem. You can look it up. I didn't make that up. But barf parrots in the social media ecosphere are a little bit different. Barf parrots are those who don't know a damn thing about any of the subject matter of their guests, but let their guests get on there and puke all that BS out to the public because they need content creators, because they themselves have no content. And they were probably handed the position because of their ethnicity or who they are. I don't know a lot of good big channels where the individual actually earned that position. They're either related to somebody, they're a certain ethnicity, or they were pretty much born into a franchise. I don't know anybody. We don't live in a meritocracy. A meritocracy is where people excel and they get put on the forefront and they have equal footing and algorithms push them equally because they have earned their position in the community. They are well respected because of their achievements in their work. We don't live in that world. That's the world the barf parrots want you to think exists because they have those high positions on those podcasts and talk shows. But when you do a bunch of research, you're like, damn, you already started off as a multimillionaire, or damn, you're related to this guy, and this guy owns MGM Studios. And when you do all this research, you go, damn, you started off as an actor in a family full of actors going back to the 1940s. That says, did any of you earn this position? So in the social media ecosphere, we have barf parrots and we have Dunning-Krugers, and that's they put out 90% of the content. They get a 90% of the awareness. They don't put out 90% of the content. I put out more content than most people I've ever met in my life. What I'm saying is they have 90% of all the attention because it's the barf parrots and Dunning-Krugers. They're a part of the apparatus of deceit. They're a part of the system in place to keep you asleep. That's what it's about. The rant for the day is over with. We hit over 1,000. It's time to get on with this deal. Like I said, I started off this video very seriously. You don't need law of attraction. You don't need affirmations. You don't need complex formulas trying to tell you how to manifest things into your life. You don't need any of that. A change of worldview will change the world viewed. This is all about personal identity and what it means for you in the programming of the construct. What totally understanding who you are, the soul's awakening. You think you know who you are, you don't. Some of you do, not all of you. You're going to understand it by the end of this video. You're going to hear many concepts that you've heard in Archaix, but you're going to Hear me read them straight from the books. Things like informed field. You thought I made that up? No. Potentia. You thought I made that up? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All kinds of concepts you've been hearing me talk about for years. We're going to the core materials today. And it's all about who we are and what the construct does with that information. When you truly embrace a personality, the programming is modified on a daily basis to conform your experiences with the personality you're projecting inside the construct. The problem is we've been living in default mode, perfectly accepting the situations that we find ourselves in, and therefore the perpetuity programming of feedback loops kicks in and just gives us the same events tomorrow that we live today. And then tomorrow comes and they're no different than what was yesterday. So the perpetuity program is a feedback loop, and we continue to enter it, and we call it life. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. All right. Shivite Jagnarth, one of these days you're going to have to explain that name. You've been on my channel for a while. Shivite Jagnarth. All right, so we do have another errant. And I thought it was very applicable that this video, the sponsor for this video, another errant, you guys know I'm putting only errant ads on there, is about a tarot deck. Really interesting. I watched the videos. How apt. It didn't even fall that way because we have them in a list and I'm picking them as we go. Didn't even fall. It was totally fortuitous that this video about the bridge between magic and science and how it has everything to do with the individual personality. It's crazy that the advertiser today is a tarot deck. What are the chances? So let me show it to you real quick. Let me show it to you. All right, we're going to get a video file here. Look at this. Really nice. Ocular Tarot deck. A hauntingly beautiful 78 card collection, intricately illustrated in black and white. Each card is meticulously hand-drawn on the iPad with no AI used in the process, just pure artistry. Based on the traditional tarot cards, this is undeniably original. This deck offers a mesmerizing experience for the seeker and lovers of the arcane. Hey, in the description box, you can check it out. I kind of like that. A little short little deal. But it's a tarot deck project. They've only made one or two or a small amount, but they want to mass produce them. So this little ad is about a Kickstarter campaign. You can read more about it in the description box. That's pretty cool. I just like the music. Yeah, I already know I'm going to get hit up on birthdays and Christmases now. I already know it's coming. We'll show that again at the end of the video. Hey, it applies to this video. There's no doubt. It applies perfectly to this video. So the importance of this video, I need to share. We're going to start with Alspinski. We have to begin this journey today with Alspinski. I quote him a lot. I tell you I'm a student of Alspinski. Unlike other presentations, I will not be quoting at all from Ishak Bentov. It's not relative here. Nor Paul LaViolette. He's a physicist, but he has some very compelling material. I won't be quoting from him at all. But this is going toward a very highly complex work called Liber Chaos. And I've plugged that book multiple times on my channel. But if we're going to get to the bottom of the soul's awakening, we need to go to the sources. Most of the sources that I'm going to be citing in this video are over a century old. If you think the whole law of attraction was started by Rhonda Byrne, you're wrong. I'm a critic of Rhonda Byrne and The Secret. The reason I'm a critic is not because the information doesn't have value, not because people haven't found value in the information. I am a critic because Rhonda Byrne has so many different personalities that are all offering their perspective and ideas on the law of attraction, but they don't mention Thomas Troward, Wallace J. Wattles. They don't mention Charles Burgoyne. They don't mention Ouspensky. They don't mention Judge Thomas Troward, 1902. They don't mention any of these people. And I just named a few. They do not mention the Edinburgh lectures on mental science. Come on, how are you going to ignore that 100% of your data that you put The Secret from, and all these people that you're quoting are literally quoting the men I just named? How? Even Anne Besant, they don't quote her. That's my criticism. You've heard me. You guys have heard me in the past criticize Rhonda Byrne and The Secret, and it's because this woman got filthy rich promoting the law of attraction and all that, and yet all the source materials are over 100 years old. Every bit of this was already laid out in the 1880s, 1890s, in turn of the century, and yet no one is given their props. You guys know it's my pet peeve. Those, especially long-term listeners of Archaix, you already know it is my core irritation when I listen to people's research and I know where it comes from, and I see that you're not giving credit where credit is due, and you're trying to pass something off in the present as if it's an original idea, and it's not. It's not. So that's my pet peeve. So I'm going to show you the actual quotes from all these books. We're going to talk about the soul's awakening. We're going to talk about, is there a difference between magic and science? And what does it mean to us to adopt a personality inside of the construct? And how is the adoption of a personality going to completely do away with things like affirmations, formulas, LOA, law of attraction? Why does it completely override all those other systems that some people find that just don't work for them, that some people find they do work for them, and a lot of people just never tried? This is what we're going to get to. This is what we're getting to. All right. So I'm going to share my screen, get this party started. Oh, you'll get a live video from me here in a couple of days. I won't be in Texas. Man, I can't wait. It's my secret trip. And those few of you who know where I'm going, don't say it in the chat. Don't make me block you. Do not make me block you. All right. Sharing my screen. We will begin with the erudite P.D. Ouspensky, the man himself. Over 100 years ago, P.D. Ouspensky wrote, and it's quoted in his most famous book, Tertium Organum, although he's written many. If we consider the brain from the standpoint of consciousness, then the brain will be a part of the world. For example, part of the outer world lying outside our consciousness. Therefore, the psyche and the brain are different things. But the psyche, as experience and observation shows, can only act through the brain. The brain is that necessary prism passing through which part of the psyche manifests itself to us as intellect. Tertium Organum, page 183. This means the brain is a part of the avatar, and the avatar is a part of the construct. We, you and I, every single person listening to my voice, we are something else. We are not the construct. We are not the avatar. We are not the brain. We are something completely separate. First of all, we must get rid of our assurance that we sense that which exists in reality, and that the real world is like the world which we see. For example, we must rid ourselves of the illusion of the material world. Tertium Organum, page 264. It is well-known psychological tenet that in moments of powerful emotion, of great joy or great suffering, everything happening round about a man seems to him unreal, a dream. This is the beginning of the soul's awakening. Even the title of this video comes from a century-old text, The Soul's Awakening, Tertium Organum, page 173. Dan Danvers, you pay me enough, I might write you a lullaby. Self-Aware Universe. Henry Strapp. The Self-Aware Universe is a book. It's a very good book. It quotes Henry Strapp, physicist, who said that the message of quantum non-locality is that the fundamental process of nature lies outside space-time, but generates events that can be located in space-time. Self-Aware Universe, page 61. Remember, we are not the construct. We are not the avatar. We are not even the brain. We are something else. And the fundamental process of nature lies outside space-time. That describes everything in the construct to us. Outside space-time, but generates events that can be located in space-time. Generates events that can be located in our experience. Reality is veiled. This is a very popular author and physicist today, Massimo Citro. Reality is veiled. We are prisoners of an inner world, of a machine that produces a virtual reality. So it ends that the senses, our only means of contact with the external world, keep us separated from it through representations that are not real. I have a lot of notes on Massimo Citro's material. I need to get him on my channel. I'm pretty sure he would come speak with us. I've cited him multiple times, especially in my earlier We Immortals videos. I don't know why. It looks like my chat froze here. Maybe it didn't. There we go. The anthropic principle. This is the anthropic principle, that there is a link between the overall design of the universe and the human mind, which can recognize the design and mathematical fundamental constants to both the quantum and cosmological. The vast universe is but a mental image of the creator. Thomas Burgoyne, Light in Ancient Egypt, 1880. This man wrote this in 1880. In every walk of life, book knowledge is only a means to an end. Books can only direct us to where to look and what to look for, but we must do the finding for ourselves. Therefore, if you have really grasped the principles of science, you will frame rules for your own, which will give you better results than any attempts to follow someone else's method, which was successful in their hands precisely because it was theirs. This is from the Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science, page 106. This is over 100-year-old text. It's like a 130-year-old text right here. Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science. I'm going to read that again because it's very important to where we're going with this. Remember, we're going to discuss if there's even a difference between magic and science. In every walk of life, book knowledge is only a means to an end. Books can only direct us where to look and what to look for, but we must do the finding for ourselves. Therefore, if you have really grasped the principles of science, you will frame rules for your own, which will give you better results than any attempts to follow someone else's method, which was successful in their hands precisely because it was theirs. Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science. You will frame rules for your own. This applies to tarot. It applies to every aspect of astrology. It applies to tea reading. It applies to any type of divination or mancy. It applies to rune casting, dice. It applies to every single occult and personal system that we modify or develop. Every one of them. And there's reasons why these things become personally powerful to the individual that does them, as opposed to someone that tries to copy their method. I'll drink to that. The only way anything has ever been invented or created is because one person saw a picture in his mind. He saw it clearly, and by holding that picture of the end result in his mind, all the forces of the universe brought his invention into the world through him. This is Rhonda Byrne, The Secret. I don't know if she's quoting something or if this is her original stuff or not. I don't know. But this is so good, I had to mention it. The only way anything has ever been invented or created is because one person saw a picture in his mind. We are not the construct. We are not our avatar. We are not our brain. We are something separate from all of that. And yet we have to use that in order to experience the world of phenomena. And in experiencing the world of phenomena, everything that is in the phenomenal world is the result of something that is completely detached of it. An idea. Something that first appeared in the mind. To the thinking person, this will mean much. He will see that he is no longer living in a limited universe, a world of powers, but that he is immersed in an infinite creative medium, which because of its nature has to create for him whatever he believes. This book is by Ernest Holmes. It's called Creative Mind and Success, page 10. I love Ernest Holmes. I should have mentioned him in the beginning of in the video with Thomas Troherd and Wallace D. Wattles. Look at your world and your life, and you are looking at what you think of yourself at the very core of your being. The subconscious creates a physical replica of itself before your eyes, in people, places, and experiences, which reflect its sense of self. At any moment in any day, we are casting around us a magnetic image of what we think of ourselves. It is this which creates our reality by magnetically attracting to us experiences which correspond with the pattern. This is the famous David Icke. I'm going to reread it because it's very profound. I don't remember which book this was. I've read 2 or 3 of his books. They're so big. Look at your world and your life, and you are looking at what you think of yourself at the very core of your being. The The subconscious creates a physical replica of itself before our eyes, in people, places, experiences, which reflect its sense of self. At any moment in any day, we are casting around us a magnetic image of what we think of ourselves. It is this which creates our reality by magnetically attracting to us experiences which correspond with that pattern. Basically, the construct is feeding us experiences that align perfectly with what we expect to experience because of who we've accepted we are inside the construct. We have adopted a personality and we wear it like a cloak. Therefore, the construct sees the cloak and modifies our world. It modifies our world to basically comport with what the cloak is conveying about us. So, Ernest Holmes was a genius at abbreviating very complex concepts into one-liners, just like this. We receive not what we want, but what we are. Again, this statement epitomizes exactly what we're talking about here. We're not the construct. We're not even our avatar. We're not even our brain. We are something else. And yet that something else has the ability to think up all the aspects of a personality that it wants to be and then make those things happen in the construct. Want to be a businessman? Then yeah, you do the necessary things to be one. You get your briefcase, you get your laptop, you get your suits, you look very presentable. The world looks at you and sees a businessman, very well put together, button down shirt. You're going to be a mixer at a club and you're into goth, then you're going to get you some stilettos and you're going to look all gothed out and you're going to do your makeup all goth, have your hair all gothed out. You may even dye it black. You're going to study mixing and music, and that's the life you're going to be. And while you're living that life, the construct doesn't feed you all kinds of stuff that aren't relative to that. Your experiences in that type of personality are commensurate with exactly what you're projecting. Just like the businessman. This is why individuals such as a church pastor who's lived a very mundane life, goes to seminary, gets him a small church. He's got 100 people that every Sunday he talks to. He's never done anything in his life. He's been a very vanilla life. And then when he comes into contact with an ex-con who's been in prison for 25 years and knows the Bible way better than he does, he hits a wall. He has absolutely no frames of reference to deal with that type of scrutiny. So he automatically dismisses it. It's not a part of his world. He can easily intellectually disengage with every single argument from an ex-con who is dissecting the scripture using only nothing but scripture, showing it's just the writings of men. And the pastor can just look at this individual and think, oh, I hope God forgives you. I hope Jesus forgives you because you just don't understand, without ever processing the actual arguments that the ex-con is giving. This type of bifurcated existence is because the construct also protects and insulates the individual personalities from being contaminated from those that have a different mindset, a different aura, a different frequency. Other personalities in the construct. This is why people birds of a feather flock together. This is why this dungeon programming is necessary. It keeps those with the same personality programming flocked among each other. It's a feedback loop. They feed each other. They reinforce their own reality with each other over and over and over. When an outsider comes in, they can easily dismiss it. The outsider doesn't find anything to do, then goes, and they repel them. It's all about frequency. In what personality you have chosen to ride through this experience is going to govern the experience itself. We receive not what we want, but what we are. True faith is not conceived and known, but lived and enacted. Franz Hartmann, what? Hold on, wait for it. 1880, way before The Secret. True faith is not conceived and known, but lived and enacted. Now, Franz Hartmann is the same one that also I quote sometimes. Record enough facts, and the answers will fall like ripe fruit. That's one of my favorite quotes from Franz Hartmann. True faith is not conceived and known, but lived and enacted. That's him. Franz Hartmann, or his generation. It may not have been him. It's his generation. Somewhere around, it might have been Franz Hartmann, who said, we do not do good deeds to prove that we are the elect. We do good deeds because we are the elect. Yeah. If it wasn't Franz Hartmann, it was somebody during his era. I just can't remember. I have to look in my quote book. You guys know I've got thousands of quotes. Balthasar Gracian, many hundreds of years ago. Act as though you are and you will be. Why? Why is that true? Because the purpose of life is living. Last time I checked, living is a verb. It's very true. Act as though you are and you will be. No one ever accomplished great things on their couch. Never happened. Act as though you are and you will be. When the avatar is in motion, it's because the soul, the immortal within, is on fire. The cerebral interface with the spirit of the immortal is totally enmeshed. And the avatar is doing something and moving. And when that's happening, the construct is paying attention. Why? Because it has to modify the programming to comport with the new trajectory. So it's got to do. Act as though you are and you will be. Here's Franz Hartmann again. True prayer consists not in words, but in actions. And the gods help him who helps himself. One of my favorites, got to separate that. Charles Fort. If anybody's a wizard, everybody is, to some degree, a wizard. Charles Fort, 1932. Napoleon Hill, another famous name. Faith or fear, where one is found, the other cannot exist. I like that one. Faith or fear, where one is found, the other cannot exist. So this is a reflective holosphere. This construct that we're in, it's a reflective medium. It's literally like a mirror. It is reflecting back us. It is reflecting the frequencies that we project by the very personality that we perceive ourselves to be, which broadcasts frequencies out into the construct by our behavior, because it's the avatar from which the frequency originates from. And the avatar only does what the personality within basically dictates it to do. So whatever the avatar is doing is being read by the construct itself. Why? What have I told you many times? The avatar and the construct are one. They are one of the same materium. We, on the other hand, are something else. And we have to use the avatar in order to engage in the world of phenomena. So the universe has an obliging nature and is reflexive. It can provide proof for any cosmological scheme, scientific or mystical, foisted upon it. Mann and Sutton, a book called Giants of Gaia. In the book, The Secret of the Tones, page 18, we read, theories tend to attract their own proof. That's pretty interesting. It's a reflective medium. Liber Chaos, Peter Carroll, 1992, page 56. The universe has the peculiar accommodating property of tending to provide evidence for and confirmation of whatever paradigm one chooses to believe in. It's a reflective medium. Attitude will always influence outcomes. Why? Because it's a reflective medium. You got a bad attitude, bad things are going to get reflected to you. You got a really good positive attitude about something that you enter, then positive, good, constructive things are going to happen to you during that experience. The construct's reading our emotions. Oliver Wendell Holmes says it best. When the human mind is stretched by a new idea, it can never go back to its original dimensions. This is more evidence that we are more than we suppose ourselves to be, that we are not the construct, we are not the avatar, we are not the brain. When the human mind is stretched by a new idea, it can never go back to its original dimensions. The soul's awakening involves the stretching of our minds so that we can never go back to original dimensions. We are here to grow, mature, and move forward. And that means we're here to embrace the very powers that we have over the construct. Unfortunately, about 99.9% of people never do it. They don't even know they have the choice. They live a reactive, not a proactive life. We're with the majority of the race always in reactive default. They're always subject to all the feedback loops of dungeon programming. It's the less than 1% that are actually building our world, putting this world together. Everybody else just keeps it together by believing it exists. The rest of the world, it's less than 1% that actually build the world and move it in the directions it's going, and then build worlds within worlds. Totally insulated from everything else, able to experience everything they want to in life without the outside world of negativity and disbelief contaminating the experiences of the believer who has basically built a world within a world. This is also more evidence that we live in a holofield, because in a holographic medium, it's different vantage points that offer different perspectives within the field and show different worlds, like a kaleidoscope. If I turn the kaleidoscope just a little bit, you see a whole different world of experience. But if it's turned back a little bit, it all collapses into something else. It's all about perspective. Perspectives are drawn from frequency. Frequencies are broadcast by avatars, as the avatar is basically enmeshed and interfaced with an immortal being that is thinking. And thought creates the activity within the construct. It is creative. We're all co-creators here. Chinese adage, when the right man makes use of the wrong means work in the right way. What does this mean? It means that in the adoption of different independent systems of whatever governance or analysis that we employ, we can even make mistakes in the operation of complex formulas and still get the output that we're looking for, simply because we are in creative mode and that the construct knows the intent, even if we botch the job. When the right man makes use of the wrong means still work in the right way. That's how powerful we are. Thought, which comes from spirit, modifies matter. But the intent behind the thought overrides anything in the world of phenomena that could work against it. When the right man makes use of the wrong means still work in the right way. Oh, my chat down here keeps freezing. Chat, why do you keep freezing? Oh, I see why. I just got to keep refreshing it. Thanks for those donations, guys. I will be using them on this trip. I can't wait to broadcast. Your identity is unique to you. It does in no way have to conform to census reality. Who you believe yourself to be is who the world believes you are. Reality responds to you in the precise proportion of the way you perceive yourself. Self-perception creates circumstances and conditions that confirm one's image of themselves. Physical reality manifests the thoughts we hold into attracting us to people, places, and events, reflecting our own self-created patterns, how we see ourselves. Your identity in no way has to conform to consensus reality. You don't. You can be who you want to be, and the construct will start modifying those experiences for you. Secret knowledge identifies you and separates you from all others, but not from your soul. Sharing that knowledge, which is in the ancient text would be profaning that knowledge, causes you to lose your soul connection. This comes from a very compelling book called The Spiritual Universe, page 131. What is it that's a secret about you that the rest of the world doesn't know about? What is it? We're all errants here, most of us. We pretty much know what that secret is, that we're moored to source, that we are more than we suppose ourselves to be, that we have the ability to draw from ourselves more than we contain because it's coming from somewhere else, that we are not here, we're sojourners, we're pilgrims, we are passing through a world of experiences that's like a playground that we can build in. That's our secret. The rest of the world doesn't know it. They perceive the spiritually enlightened, those who have spiritually awakened. They perceive us as anomalies. They perceive us as basically malfunctioning humans. As long as you know something secret about yourself that the outside world at large does not know, namely your connection to the oversoul, you are uniquely connected with your sacred spirit. This secret knowledge identifies you and separates you from all others. The Spiritual Universe, page 131. I did not make up oversoul. If we allow the world's opinion to control our thinking, then that will be our demonstration. If, on the other hand, we arise superior to the world, we shall do a new thing. Thomas Troward, Creative Mind and Success, page 14. Your identity is the key to manifesting everything in your life you want to experience. You don't need a formula for manifestation. You don't need a vision board or a law of attraction itinerary or self-affirmations videos and audio recordings. All you have to do is be the personality you want to be, and the construct will supply the dressings. It is because of this holospheric illusory deceit that products of the imagination, which are fictions, can and often do create reality. The construct absorbs new ideas and concepts and integrates them into the protocols. It seeks to transform fictions into facts. When you employ your creative spiritual powers to make believe your reality, it will make others believe. And this exchange of information between souls turns the non-existent into experience. You may want to re-listen to this video to catch that one again. In every walk of life, you know what? I've already got this one. Or did I just swing back? This is the, you frame the rules for yourself. Oh, I put this in the wrong place. Okay. Yeah, I put that in the wrong place. It's in here twice. So, What is it? What is it that you can do that forges a permanent imprint upon the construct for it to understand exactly who you're wanting to be, who you are? Because once the construct has that firm signal from you, once it accurately understands exactly what trajectory you're trying to go with your life, it will build that reality tunnel for you. But how do you do it? How do you do it? Rituals create beliefs by acting as though such beliefs were true. Rituals aren't something just out of occult literature. A ritual can be something as simple as a woman who has been divorced for 3 years and doesn't want to be alone anymore. A ritual can be as simple as putting a plate and silverware out for a husband who's going to be sitting there in the near future. Every meal she makes for herself, she sets that out because she knows something she's got to do. It is a ritual, but it's also imprinting mathematical code into the construct. It's building a picture in the construct of what the individual is seeking. Ritual creates beliefs by acting as though such beliefs were true. Practicing something you want to be an expert at is ritual. Anything that you repetitively do for any type of outcome is ritual. Ritual creates beliefs by acting as though such beliefs were true. You fake it till you make it to obtain the power that a belief can provide. That's Liber Chaos, Peter Carroll. We create phenomena by the act of ritually behaving as though it exists. The real awesomeness lies in the range of things we can discover ourselves capable of, even if we may temporarily have to believe the effects are due to something else in order to make it, to be able to create them. This is also Peter Carroll, Liber Chaos. The real awesomeness lies in the range of things we can discover ourselves capable of doing, even if we may temporarily have to believe the effects are due to something else in order to be able to create them. That's what ritual is. When my channel first started, I had $27 in my pocket and I did a video, a ritual. I told everybody about it. I've told this story probably 10 times since my channel. And I started a company called Paradise Rock Gardens with nothing in my pocket. And I wanted, and I knew that I needed about $1,200 to get the right tools and to be able to start working. And I got that I did a ritual with an old antique lamp in Splendora, Texas. And I wrote what I needed on a piece of paper. And I took the glass off a lamp and I lit the flame. I put the glass back on there and I told the lamp, I told the fire, which was the construct itself. I told the lamp and thanked it for burning up my piece of paper because I don't need it no more, because I know that $1,200 needed to be released. I needed to give it up in order to get it back. And I told the story. It didn't even shock me when I got a contract on Craigslist the very next day. And it came to me in such a weird way because a woman promised that she would pay me $600 if I would she had 2 dump trucks full of garden rocks. And she said, I'll pay you $600 if you'll just get these rocks in all my gardens, because they dumped them here. I thought when I bought the rocks that they were going to put them in, and they said, that's a whole additional charge. They're trying to charge me thousands. So she says 2 huge pile of rocks, river rock and this white granite stuff. So I did it. So she said $600 she'll pay me that day if I work all day, just with a wheelbarrow, moving the rocks and filling up all her empty rock bed gardens that she had just had made. And I told her, yeah, I'd do it. At lunchtime, there was $1,200 in my account, PayPal account. So I told her, I said, you told me you were going to pay me the other $600 when the job was done. And I knew I couldn't finish that job that day. There's no way one man can move 2 dump trucks full by himself. So anyway, long story short, she paid me $1,200 on accident, $600 payment, and instantly within seconds, another $600 payment. And they went through and I had $1,200 in my account before lunch. I wasn't even shocked. It wasn't even, and it just happened for me. This is before I started my YouTube channel. This is but it's what started my YouTube channel. And it's just what happened a long time ago now. Enchantments cast well in advance. Okay, enchantments that are cast well in advance have a greater chance to modify sequences of probability in one's favor. Basically, what it's telling you is that if you're wanting to do something ritualistically to modify your personality in order to experience something different in the future, if you're trying to do it because something in the future is already planned, such as you know the exact date when they're going to select somebody in your company for a certain role and you really want that role, well, what this is telling you, what Liber Chaos is conveying, is that rituals and enchantments that are cast well in advance, whatever you decide to do, have a greater chance at modifying sequences of probability in one's favor. Enchantments can be cast to force, or at least nudge, the hand of chance as far as the future is concerned. You should aim to influence events before nature has made up her mind. And do not waste effort with wildly improbable events. Liber Chaos is a very deep book. Very deep book. Peter Carroll wrote, "The problem for scientists is that they are observing and trying to describe effects due to something which they refuse to believe can exist. The problem for magicians is that they refuse to believe that the effects they create or observe could be due to something for which equations could be written." That is profound. Peter Carroll, 1992, Liber Chaos. That is profound. There is just no, when it comes to the arithmetic of our reality, there's no difference between science and magic. One seeking to produce outcomes must employ a system that the construct is aware of. For example, make the construct aware of the system, which in turn induces it to create an informed field. There's your informed field. With this, the construct and the new system operator will communicate to work in tandem to alter defaulted events into predicted events. A focused intent using a self-created system can overwrite the background programming and create upsets to expected outcomes by causing the construct to absorb new ideas and new concepts. I've said this multiple times on my channel. This is what the construct thrives on, the absorption of totally novel concepts into its programming to integrate it with pre-existing systems. The power is in the individual, not the system. This is tarot. This is tea leaves. This is divination. This is all the mancies. This is rune casting. There's so many. Astrology. All of them. The power is always in the individual, not in the system. The construct is alive, a builder, and does not conduce to the manipulation of pre-existing programming, but instead it builds new programmed experiences. Every day of your life, the reality tunnel programmed routines and dungeon programming were in place, and you traveled them to this point in your life where you are today. The construct was merely coding background and environmental programming conducive to how you see yourself. Your entire life has unfolded in proportion to how you saw yourself at any given period in your life. So with the soul's awakening, We have the situation of an immortal who awakens. Oh, I need to correct that. Who awakens to the obvious fact that in order to experience a different life, that soul, another mistake, must see itself as a different personality. How the soul sees itself is how the construct builds for it. When you truly know you are no longer the person you were yesterday, then tomorrow's experiences will reflect this. Another favorite quote, you guys heard me say this many times. When a matter becomes clear, it ceases to concern us. Friedrich Nietzsche, 120, 130, 140 years ago, wrote this. When a matter becomes clear, it ceases to concern us. Concern contains anxiety, which means something is not truly clear to us. When a matter becomes clear, it ceases to concern us. That is where all power lies. Once something is crystallized in your experience, once you fully, truly embrace who you are, the construct builds that world overnight of who you intend to be. You will reach that point when you get to what Friedrich Nietzsche is talking about. When a matter becomes clear, it ceases to concern you. Concern has an anxiety element to it. When you are totally unconcerned, it's because everything has come to pass the way you envisioned it. And this is the real hard dichotomy to swallow. Things will come to pass as soon as you accept your new role, your new reality. When you impress upon yourself this new personality and totally believe that you are this individual, that is when your world will change. Your world will not change until you have fully accepted it, and you cannot possibly accept it while it is true. That's not how the builder protocols work. Remember, this construct that we are flowing through is all about taking fictions and transmuting them into facts. Every single thing in existence today started off as a lie. Everything. The meaning of life is living. And the last time I checked, living is a verb. I've given a lot of presentations that were 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and even a few that were 5.5 hours long. But you know what? This one's not necessary. It is not necessary for me to reconvey from different perspectives everything that I just shared with you today. Additionally, I'm going to abbreviate this video. It's been a little over an hour. I'm going to abbreviate it for the simple fact is that I do have a very special trip plan and a very special video plan, and I got to get ready for it. I got to pack. I'm leaving tomorrow. So I want to leave you with this. We don't need law of attraction. We don't need all these formulas. We don't need these affirmations. We don't need these videos we got to listen to. We don't need any of that. We need to make up our minds about who the hell we want to be. And then we need to start pretending to be that person. That's all we have to do. It is literally that simple. This construct will never work with you until you accept the fact that it takes a lie and transmutes it into the truth. That's why it's here. That's what its core function is. And everything that we experience in the world of phenomena was first untrue. The soul's awakening has everything to do with understanding that it's waking up inside of a lie. That was so cool. That was so cool. Oh, I got a mod giving me a blessing. Man, I plan on giving blessings out in the near future, so I appreciate it. But yeah, I've got big plans, guys, and I will holler at you later. Check out the link to the Kickstarter deal for the tarot deal. It's a beautiful tarot deck. I'm probably going to get hit up by friends and family who want them for birthdays and Christmases. I already see it coming. So check it out in the description box, guys. I'm going to remove that and go hit. I'm going to go hit one of these beautiful outros. Thank you guys for joining me. I do appreciate it. But I am in a hurry today. I just wanted to get this video out. And if you want even more, there's way more quotes on Twitter. Way more quotes on Twitter than I put in this video here. If you want to go to my X feed, there's a single post that has a whole bunch of information, all quoting all different books on this same topic. But until later on this weekend, guys, I'll holler at you. Love you.